CORSAIR DreamHack Masters all has culminated into this. We've been to Las Vegas, we've been to Malmo, we've been to Marseille, Stockholm. Now Dallas will give us a grand champion here, live and direct. Today is Championship Sunday. Welcome back, everybody. This is the day that you've all been waiting on. This is one best of three to rule them all. That's right, Dallas. We're live here in the studio with you, for you, and all about this matchup. I'm going to go ahead and thank all the people that made this very much a reality: in AT&T, Chipotle, CORSAIR, CS.Money, Esport Management, and as always, Monster Energy. Welcome back, Dallas. I've missed you all night long. I've been thinking about coming back in here into the booth today and getting it going alongside of my friends in Maniac and Sponge. I'd call you Chad, Sponge.
You can do whatever you want. You can call me whatever you want.
All right, man.
Yeah, it's all good.
I like that. So, guys, we've had a hell of a week, huh?
Look, I'm just really happy that Liquid could make it to the final to give the North Americans here something to cheer about, because otherwise it might be a little bit quiet in the arena. But hopefully today there's a very good turnout. There was a lot more people running around yesterday in the whole DreamHack Festival than I expected. It's nuts out there. Yeah,
even in the Players Lounge, I just got my first taste of the Chipotle area, the Chipotle Players Lounge, whatever it's called. Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Pretty nice.
Don't even have to pay for extra guac. Love it. Maniac, what's your favorite part of Dallas, man?
Favorite part of Dallas?
Yep.
DreamHack Masters.
There we go.
That's
That's the right answer.
See, that guy excelled in school. Obviously.
There you go.
Obviously excelled in school, but we're going to excel through these brackets right now just to catch you up to speed as to where we stand on Championship Sunday. This is what the playoffs have looked like. Vitality, G2, the French are out. Furia, the Brazilians, they're out too. FaZe Clan taking an L. And now that gives us Liquid ENCE in the grand finals. Guys, talk to me about this bracket.
This bracket looks very clean. If you haven't joined us for any of the previous days, you'd sit here and you go, oh, you know, teams got through relatively easily. But that's not the case at all. There's been some struggles throughout. Obviously, FaZe and Dust too. We could talk about every single one of their matches against the high-profile teams going into overtime after overtime after overtime. And teams were pushed, right? Teams were actually made to work to get to this point. It hasn't just been blowouts. No one's really run away with this, but we still managed to get the two teams we wanted in the grand final.
Well, for some, that's who you want. Personally, I was looking forward to the FaZe Liquid one, but I'll take ENCE Liquid. I think that's a pretty solid foundation. Maniac, it's been a hellacious week.
It's been really great. Honestly, the Counter-Strike, the quality of the games that we've seen, I think is so nice. I've enjoyed myself so much this week. Obviously, as you said, FaZe ENCE game could have gone either way, really. It was messy a little bit, and not in a type of way that ENCE would usually play. You know, I think they made some mistakes here and there, and obviously the skill for FaZe punished them. But all in all, the second best team in the world against the third best team in the world, sometimes logic work.
What about these two teams known as Liquid and Furia? We got to see them go at it toe-to-toe, head-to-head, and there were some shocking turn of events there within the matchups themselves, all of it going in the way of Liquid eventually, but quite the play here from Elige.
Yeah, well, look, this was a breakout event for Furia in terms of their first big event, making it to playoffs of a big event. Obviously, we saw what they could do earlier in the year at the minors, the major, all that kind of stuff going down, and that was good signs. But the hype hadn't caught. People weren't completely on board, but they must be now, right? Because the individual prowess that this team has shown to get to this point, they've achieved above their expectations, above everybody else's expectations, and their unique style and approach to CS. If they can refine it some more, if they can learn when to throw it in and play the current meta, that's the cue for this Brazilian team to be something to be scared about.
Yeah, I think Chad is absolutely on point here. Obviously, Furia, they have that element of craziness and wildness to their play, and it makes them fearless and reckless, and obviously it's going to get them some rounds, but sometimes you need to chill out a little bit, do the rationality, and I think that's the next step for them to become even better.
Yeah, but there's no chill when it comes to this guy named Elige. In fact, we got to see him yesterday make some heroic plays, and we caught up with Naf to talk about it. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Follow-up off. But he didn't have any backup, not in time to stop that play.
We did a little bit of research on Nuke. We saw that there's a lot of things that we could anti-strat like very easily, and they usually just ran like the same stuff. They did a lot of door explodes, a lot of outside scrims where they just rushed outside, and we picked that up and were able to get the 10-5 half. And then also, yeah, even during the half, Elige, he was going off. I'm not sure what he was doing, but I saw just the death notice, Elige. So he was doing work. I know he's feeling good, so it also gave us a lot of confidence that Elige is popping off. So.
And they are going to go right into a tactical timeout. It's an incredible angle for Twist. Yuri.
So, and then also going into Overpass. Overpass is our pick. We're very strong on it. I think it's obviously one of our better maps. So we knew if we just play our game, do what we need to do, we're just going to win. And that's what happened. We 14-1 them T-side, so it just went in our favor. We expected it, and it was smooth sailing.
Time to hit that jump. It's
Smooth sailing, says Naf. Did go 16-13, but yeah, they were pushed around a little bit on Nuke.
That nonchalant attitude, though, is what they need today going into the grand final, right? Yeah, it was our mat. We just played our game. Do that against ENCE, right? Don't, get rattled by the standard grand final liquid curse situation that we got going on there. And then we could be talking for a quick one for the North Americans. But yeah, Liege, highlighting him there, he is on track right now if they win this final with his stats right now, probably for the MVP.
Yeah, I would agree. He's playing his second best tournament of the year, and as we could see in that clip, and what people might not know was that it was a turnaround, and Elige had many turnaround rounds or plays or clutches or however you want to call it, and he was lights out in that first game, and probably the reason why it was just a 2-0.
What about some of the Finns? Because I feel like they've had a monstrous impact here as well, especially when we talk about statistically speaking. It's Sergey and Alu that are sitting up there on the top of the stats. But just overall, what are we thinking about this form of events in Dallas?
I'm really excited about them, right? Because they have the baseline, and it looks like they're taking this with a little bit more, I don't want to say serious manner than Summit, but they've taken it up a notch, right? They're looking like it's an extra gear here. And you bang on there, Sergey and Alu. Now, Sergey's been a little bit more flashy. Alu's like a quiet achiever, right? He's just getting a lot done and the way that he's meant to be, which is fantastic, because if you can put up those numbers consistently and nobody's talking about you, that's like it attests to how good you actually are.
Absolutely. I think that's the key for Alu. You have to look at the numbers to realize the impact that he's having. He's present in the clutches department. He's opening fragging. Obviously, just stats-wise in the top 10 at the moment, but Sergey is... I've been waiting for Sergey to show up really to the full extent of his ability for a long time now, and he's playing his best tournament if you exclude the minors at the beginning of the year. So these are the two aces or jokers that ENCE have gone into this final. Sergey and Alu are lights out.
Do you feel like you got your money's worth here out of ENCE?
Quite. I think that's the next step here.
Okay, well, yeah, it is the next step. Excuse me, specifically speaking of ENCE and Alu, we actually get to catch up with them prior to going into today. They had some heroic plays yesterday. We're going to see what they did.
We can let it be known that Nuke is third as well, by the way.
Indeed.
Because that might be something worth considering. Oh, he fired too soon. It's the right idea. Certainly if his teammate didn't already find the kill.
We're actually thinking that do we want to buy around Alu? But then we decided that we're gonna fake that we have a buy. We bought a nade, and Alu had the AVP as well. So we naded middle, and Alu was like putting pressure with the AVP, and we got 3 guys going in order to stack it. And we were hoping that they will react on that mid push we had in a way, and fall to our stack. And we didn't see them coming, so we decided to push because we had pistols, we had to do something. And it worked out pretty good, so we were happy because Aldo actually said that we don't need to buy, we can just win this round by doing this and this. So that was Aldo's call, and props to him, and of course for everyone for doing a good job.
Pushing him down with a pistol as well, he knew exactly what he had to do. It's 13-13.
From 12-13 to 13-13 on the back of a little bit of a misdirection play there. Do we think that ENCE made the right call? Obviously paid out in the end.
I mean, yes, absolutely.
it's a gamble.
The question is like, yes. I mean, what we can see in that clip is really Alu's his understanding of the game and his game sense. Sure. I like how he's able to thrive under chaos, even with the AWP, and he's not afraid to sneak in through smokes, alongside the wall. He realized that the longer he stays alive, that gives time to X7 to come from the back. And then we have this 1v1 that is a little bit silly between Olofmeister and X7. Awkward, that's the word, I guess.
Pretty fair assessment.
Turnaround.
Yeah, it is a pretty awkward assessment. Perhaps we have a little bit more awkwardness as we did get a chance to see what Jacob's up to. This is what life looks like after Team Liquid for this young man. In fact, the wiener guy himself did deliver some hot dogs yesterday.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Pimp hot dog stand. I tweeted out some months ago that if I reached a certain amount of subscribers on Twitch, I would open my own hot dog stand. Haven't really made it yet, but I got the opportunity here in Dallas to get inside and get some experience, you know, making some hot dogs and hopefully serving a lot of happy customers. So let's go in and have a look. That's basically it. Bread, sausage, toppings, and then give it to the customer.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Are you sure you want everything?
Absolutely everything. If you have a latex glove, I'll take it.
Delivering my first hot dog really feels good. I've been dreaming about owning a place like this myself for years. That was first of many, I hope. So I'm gonna make my own special one for you.
I was super shocked, honestly. Like, I just saw him on stage. I walk over here to get a hot dog, and all of a sudden there's Pimp sitting right behind there. I was like, hold on, who is that? No way. It was crazy.
Service!
Service?
Ding, 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 ding! Hey, Steve. I can give you mustard, jalapenos.
I'll take mustard.
Well, in that case, there you go.
Service?
That's what Pimp's wiener looks like.
I think my customers have been very surprised by my style. It's very Scandinavian inspired, so it's disgusting.
So Pimp's career, it's been great. He was a player and he was super high up. And you know, being a caster and an analyst, it's still a pretty good job. But now as the hot dogs, I think he went even higher because they're just so good at hot dog. Just so good.
Yeah, I mean, what a wonderful day at the hot dog stand. I must admit, it was harder than I thought. A lot of hard work goes into making these hot dogs, but I finally mastered it at the end, and I got to serve hot dogs for Liquid players and Liquid managers and some very prominent people. So very satisfied with the day, and I mean, now I'll have one myself. Very good. Tastes like shit.
Yes, that is Jacob Vinicki. You can check out Jacob's Hot Dogs at jacobsoscarmeyer.com or whatever you want to call it there. Quite the wiener fest, you could say.
Someone needs to tell him the restaurant business is one of the absolute worst things you could possibly do with your money. So it's maybe a good thing he's had this little taste and doesn't actually invest his own.
Plus, for me, Maniac, I don't know about you, but if someone gives me a hot dog or basically any sort of sandwich with mustard up to the brim of the plate, I'm probably going to give that back and demand a refund.
Yeah, I'm not a mustard guy, I have to say. But you know, for Pimp, I think it's a good experience. He will now really enjoy his moment here at the desk. He had a little bit of a vision. What can it be if you have to sell hot dogs? So here, he's gonna love what's happening here.
Yeah. So basically, look out for Jacob at a hot dog stand near you, no matter where you find yourself. But now it's time for us to give you some reasons to why you shouldn't go anywhere. And I think the perfect candidate to do that would be Chad.
It's unfortunate that it has to be me, but look, we've got 3 reasons why this one is wide open, right? So, look, we want to get stuck into this because this is going to be a fantastic final. First and foremost, the first reason this is going to be a good one for one way or another is that Liquid's curse of always coming second in these grand finals is back on the table. Let me just list off a couple of these for you. Second at Summit, second at Blast Miami, second at Blast Sao Paulo, EPL ENCE Season 8 second, Chicago second, ESL1 New York second, E-League Premier second, Season 5 of ECS, they came second, Season 7 of EPL, they came second. That's a superstition, so this is in their head. They have to be able to defeat that to get through here. The next point is form. We're going to be looking at the form of both these teams. In this tournament, they've both beat Furia, they both beat FaZe. Everybody's looking hot, the stars are stepping up, and they're playing some well-rounded CS. If that's not exciting, I don't know what is. And the last point here is the history. If you look at these two teams at the major, ENCE obviously blew them out of the water there. And since they've played that, they've had a draw. They played in Summit in a best of 2 where they've split maps. So all in all, you put all these factors together and we're looking at a great final. But I got one more for you guys. I got one that I want to throw down here for all the viewer at home, for everybody. We can get out of the pip because I want everyone to see your reactions.
Oh,
we're about to, it's a mic drop moment. It's not that big. It's not that exciting. I've really built it up.
I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm ready now.
You've told us now.
Astralis are not here.
Oh my God.
Okay.
They're not?
Here's the thing. Here's the deal with this, right? This is their choice. They don't want to be here.
Okay.
We have the best 2 active Counter-Strike teams in the entire world right now going toe-to-toe. Let's take away the caveat of Astralis not being here. If they don't want to show up, if they don't want to play, if they don't want to be in contention, let's look at the best teams that we possibly have in Counter-Strike right now. Let's celebrate them for being as good as they are consistently. And let's get a bloody good grand final going on today, because let's not worry about any of the other nonsense. We're worried about the teams who want to rock up, the teams who want to play, the teams who want to get it done, and these 2 do. Number 2 and number 3 in the world going toe-to-toe today, so let's have a good one.
And Chad, you know, you had 3 reasons. You could have gone away with all of those and just hit us with number 4 right off the bat.
You would have been happy with 4?
Just some straight facts from Chad, the Sponge Birdshield. That's right. Astralis not here, Navi not here either. And, well, for all things considered, when we look at how this bracket's played out, we do have some of the best talent in the world here.
Definitely. And Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, but could it be ENCE's first possibility to win an Inter Grand Slam tournament? That would be insane if you consider
3-horse race.
Exactly, the evolution of that lineup. I think ENCE have lived up to the amazing expectations that had after Katowice, right? Everyone was thinking, is it a one-off? Is it a flash in the pan? Are they going to play like that all the time? And I think they've done a good job. And now they could win an Inter Grand Slam tournament. It's insane.
Big stuff.
Yeah, it's right there on the edge. They could pretty much just taste it at this point. Probably tastes better than Jacob's hot dogs, I can tell you that right now. Talking about, I guess, flash in the pan or keeping things exciting, we do have Frankie, and I believe she's down there on the sidelines, or maybe even the stage is that. Oh, she's right behind us. Hey, Frankie.
Hi, Stunner. You know what? I'm vegetarian, but actually, maybe I would switch my allegiance if I could have one of Jacob's hot dogs. They look delicious, even if he slagged them off himself. Now, I am on the stage. Our teams have already set up. ENCE and Liquid have gone backstage. They'll be having their final team talks, and they'll be obviously in contention for lifting the trophy at the end of Championship Sunday. And I just want to draw your attention actually to the plinth, because there was a little bit of sass on Reddit about the plinth, but I assure you it's been polished. It's looking fingerprint-free. It's looking absolutely beautiful. What do you think, Dallas? Yeah. Solid work by the team here. And very shortly indeed, we are going to be bringing the teams out. And it's going to be absolutely electrifying in this arena. People are filling in. There are so many Liquid shirts. So actually, there are some ENCE fans in the audience. If I know Finland, I know that they will get on the plane for those boys. Let's head back to the desk, because I'm curious to know what you think of this fabulous glasswork.
Yeah, that's some fabulous glasswork. More importantly, the drip on that ring's got me all kind of excited, you know? Like, you know what drip is, Chad?
No, is it like the new kid lingo? Is it like clout? People have been throwing that one around a lot lately.
I don't like that one. That one's kind of weird. Something about houses and clout, this, that, and the other. Drip would be something along the lines of just, you know, the diamonds encrusted around the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Championship.
I'm too old for all this.
It's fine, Chad. You know, there is an alternative. You could go to Urban Dictionary and just kind of, you know, browse that day.
Or make my own definitions.
You could. You could actually do that as well. What we could also do is kind of react to some of the tweets. I put out a tweet yesterday. Didn't expect it to get a whole lot of traction or responses, but ultimately people started to respond.
All right. We got some reasons.
Yeah, we've actually got basically us versus the audience here.
Okay.
So perhaps we see some of the reasonings here, and then we see what you guys think as to what their
So we get to evaluate the arguments that are putting out by people. Is that what we're doing here?
That's basically what we're doing. So let's see the first one.
Let's see how eloquent they can be with 240 characters.
Would pick ENCE because of second place curse for Liquid, but Liquid has been looking hot and ready to get that second IEM Grand Slam point in their belt, so I could see them winning this in a close fashion. To be honest, make sure the TBH is in there.
That's the TBH is pretty important.
So he's a very superstitious man.
He is. The close fashion is probably true. I would argue with the close fashion anyway. It is also true that Liquid have looked hot in that tournament, so whoever wrote this, birthday boy, pretty good. I would agree with you.
Birthday boy. Load up that second tweet. Let's see what happened here. Looks like this. Reasoning. Hashtag easy for ENCE, as if we haven't seen that before. And Alu is going to play insane. Calling it now. Alu goes nuts. Now,
Thank God he's not on the desk.
But we can't refute that Alu's been playing well. I mean, that's true.
Sure.
Is it enough?
Yeah, it's not really analysis.
True. Okay, Chad?
It's more like a prediction, I would say.
Yeah.
Like a based prediction. They're going to win because I predict Alu is going to play well.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's got his own reasonings. We've got our own reasonings. Let's run the seasoning on this next one. Wow. Okay, so there's some bullet points here.
Wow, okay. It's structured. Yeah, exactly, we've actually used some punctuation, so this one's already winning in my book. More firepower. I agree with that. Stronger map pool. I would agree. I would agree with that. Yeah. Advantage in the veto since and strong map is Liquid's permaban train. That is also a very good point. This person has actually done some research.
Wherever you are.
Let's get that guy on the desk, right?
Yeah,
he has a point
this
with
is some good analysis.
If Liquid don't underperform tomorrow, we should see them taking the trophy as well as their second Grand Slam win.
Okay, I would say maybe that's an overstatement. I mean, even if Liquid play is great, ENCE can still potentially outplay them for sure. But the map point is a very important one. I think obviously we're going to talk about it later on the show. But Liquid is in a good position when it comes to map picks and vetoes.
I'm happy with this one. Can they all be like this?
I mean,
that's a different type. That's a different
reality now. Back to the ground floor where we started. Easy for ENCE, Team Liquid choke. Enough said. I don't know about that guy. Probably going to go ahead and block that guy now that I'm just kidding. It's up to his own opinions.
Yeah.
But guys, we do have a grand final in our hands. One best of 3. We don't have a best of 5. Definitely don't have a best of 7 around here. I don't think we're going to be seeing one of those anytime soon. But one best of 3 to determine the winner and who's going to be taking a notch on the Intel Grand Slam.
It's a curious one, and I think it's even more curious when you look at the recent times that they've played. Like Dust 2 being in the map pool now that ENCE have shifted things around quite clearly on their CT side. That might factor into some decisions coming in there. But I do agree on the sentiment that Liquid have a bunch of advantages going into this, but ENCE still have a stronger foundation. I think overall, ENCE still just have a stronger base.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reality for that, right? You know, there is a world where that happens. There's also a world where you have no idea what the Intel Grand Slam is, and every time we say it, you kind of wince and have no idea what's going on. So let us catch you up to speed.
It was thought that the feat was insurmountable, But in December of 2018, Astralis won a 4th title at the ESL Pro League, completed the first ever Intel Grand Slam, and pocketed $1 million. The winner of 4 CSGO trophies inside 10 consecutive Intel Extreme Masters, ESL 1, ESL Pro League, and DreamHack Masters events wins the Intel Grand Slam. Astralis winning the ESL Pro League meant that the new $1 million race to 4 trophies had begun, with all teams starting with a clean slate. The Danes won Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, the first trophy of the new Intel Grand Slam season. However, the Danish team did not attend Intel Extreme Masters Sydney, and Team Liquid, the world's #2 team, caught up. Their first title is more recent, so the Liquid have 9 more opportunities to complete the Intel Grand Slam to Astralis' 8. Liquid is now in the driver's seat, looking for a golden opportunity to get ahead of Astralis in the race. They are competing at DreamHack Masters Dallas with the Danes absent again. The race is on and Liquid is in the driver's seat.
Yes, this is all in Liquid's hand at this point. They can't get a second notch towards that big Grand Slam. But when we look at this, Astralis not even here to contest it, not even here to defend the idea that, hey, we won it first.
Yeah, and I think that's a big point, and obviously Liquid need to take the chances that they get for free, or almost for free. We've seen them squander them in the past. Obviously, ESL won New York last year. I believe that's where they lost to Mousesports in a final that they probably should have never lost.
Yep.
So this is a very important, if Intel Grand Slam is what they're focusing on, and I would be focused on $1 million, this is very important for them.
Talking about psychological pressure and the Liquid's curse, do you think this actually plays into their mind, the fact that they could take a notch on the Inter Grand Slam, they might put Astralis in the rear view? Does that count?
I don't think they're even in like reaching distance right now, So maybe if they grab that 3rd, or like if they're going for the 3rd, that might start playing in. But right now, I think it's still in its infancy stages. We're still very new into this season of I guess season 2 of the Intel Grand Slam.
That's exactly what it is, Chad. You pretty much nailed that one. And actually, you guys can nail this one to the wall when I say you need to go down to the cinema next week and check out X-Men Dark Phoenix. That's right. It's going to be live in the studios featuring Sophie Turner. And when I say studios, I meant cinemas. I don't know what studios it would be live in. It's not kind of like a live action thing. It's kind of more of a... Anyway, you guys all get the point. Make sure you head over there and grab yourself some tickets, because coming up after the break, I've got something you're not going to need tickets for, Twitch chat. I've got the grand finals of the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Dallas 2019. I've got Liquid and I've got ENCE, and they're taking each other on head-to-head. You do not want to miss this. We'll be right back.